Hello, future high schoolers! This year hasn't ended quite as we expected, but hey, we made it. Middle school is over! I officially declare that as your student body president. I first want to thank God for keeping all of us and our families safe during this time. I also want to thank Mr. Hyatt, the best principal ever, and all the staff for making distant learning the best that it could be. Instead of focusing on what we may have missed out on, like formal and Dr. Red, stay strong, kid. Don't cry. Don't cry. Whew. Okay, let's look at all we've accomplished. We completed our last history project. We don't have to worry about another science fair. We couldn't have made it without our awesome teachers. We survived countless equations with the help of Mrs. Amerson. We got to see the heart of a worm with Miss Lane, which still haunts me to this day. Ugh. We ran what felt like 1,000 miles in PE, whether it was laps or straightaways. We'll never forget Coach Camille's song, "I got burgers on my mind." We dared to be like Daniel with Mrs. Cluck, and we learned many Bible verses that we can recall in times of need. We'll never forget our TikTok famous English teacher, Mrs. Rogers, who always found the most fun ways to teach us. In history, Miss Hinton enlightened us with many famous quotes. My favorite, and one that will help us even during this time, is by Martin Luther King Jr. He once said, "If you can't fly, run. If you can't run, walk. If you can't walk, crawl. But whatever you do, you have to keep moving forward." So as we close this chapter and open a new one, let's keep pressing on. Let's take what we have learned here at Cornerstone and apply it wherever we go next. Even though this chapter has ended, a new one is beginning. For some, it may be scary. And for others, it might be a great relief. But before we flip that tassel, I'm getting serious with you right here, alright? Listen up. I want you to leave with something and always hold on to this. You're never alone. And if you need help, just ask God. Because God is with us and God is for us. It was an honor to serve as your junior high student body president. Thank you.
My name is Ava Earhart, and I'm one of your 8th grade valedictorians. I know, right? I thought it was kind of crazy too when they told me. And with the COVID-19 pandemic going on, I believe we've learned and overcome a lot more than the average 8th grade class, and that is something we should be very proud of. Something I've learned about my 8th grade class is that we're all unique in our own way, and that gives us individual strengths. In 2 Chronicles 15:7 it says, "But as for you, be strong, and do not give up, for your work will be rewarded." Through this year, we have worked very hard to reach our goal of becoming freshmen in high school. Just think, we only have 4 more years left, and hopefully by then, we can actually walk on our day of graduation and celebrate with our friends and family. During this challenging time, our friendships have grown stronger, not only with our friends, but with our family. So where do we go from here, you might ask? Some of us will stay here at Cornerstone, and some of us will leave and go off on a new adventure to conquer high school. But it is important to remember the foundations we built here at Cornerstone, with the guidance of our teachers, the support from friends and our Cornerstone families, and of course, let's not forget our awesome principal, Mr. Logan Heyer. So when things get tough, we have to remember the fun times we've had here, like the daddy-daughter dance, Washington, D.C., outdoor ed, homecoming, formal, and of course, the Six Flags that we would always visit at the end of the year. These memories will always be with us no matter what, and it is important to remember that our roots run deep and there will always be a home at Cornerstone. And one more big thanks to our teachers who have helped us all the way here. We couldn't have done it without you. Personally, I would like to thank Ms. Cluck, our Bible teacher, who has helped me not only spiritually, but listened to me when I needed someone to talk to. She helped me through the tough times and has always been supportive of me. I will remember every single person I met here at Cornerstone and will never forget you, and the lessons I've learned here will last a lifetime and forever after that. Just remember, our next 4 years are going to go by fast, so we have to cherish the moments we have together now. Once quarantine is over, I encourage every single one of you to see your friends and families, hang out with them, and make new memories. Find your place in this world, make a difference in life, seize the day, and in closing, even when you leave Cornerstone Christian School grounds, you will always be a Cornerstone Cougar. Congratulations, class of 2020.
My name is Crystal Lozano, and I'd like to personally thank each and every one of you who is watching online to celebrate the 8th grade graduating class of 2020. I know this is not at all what we had planned for, and I don't think anyone could have imagined. Going to 5 grocery stores to find simple things such as toilet paper, hand soap, and flour. I mean flour out of all things. But look, we finally found some. But I would never imagine missing my friends, classmates, and teachers as our 8th grade year comes to a close. But here we are in the midst of a pandemic, still grateful for all the memories we have made at Cornerstone. I have attended Cornerstone as long as I can remember, and I'm not exaggerating. I was 2 years old when I started at TCS. That's a lot of memories. From bake sales to fun runs, and let's not forget the countless field trips to the famous Smith family farm. So I'd like to say thank you to the Cornerstone pastors, principal, teachers, and staff for guiding us and teaching us throughout all these years. And a huge thank you to our parents, grandparents, family, and friends who are here to support us tonight, even though we can't see each other in person. Graduating class of 2020, I would like to take you back to last year when we had the amazing DC trip. We learned so much and had so much fun. Quick question, do you remember who the first treasurer of the United States was? Okay, maybe not. Let me give you a hint. He's on the $10 bill. You know, the $10 founding father without a father? That's right, Alexander Hamilton. If you don't already know, Hamilton is a hit Broadway musical that tells a story about Alexander Hamilton, an immigrant who came to this country to rise up, to be a world changer. In one of the most popular songs titled My Shot, Hamilton sings, "The plan is to fan the spark into a flame." The spark is referring to Hamilton's potential, his gifts, his talent. Hamilton later uses those gifts to help build this country. Hamilton reminds us that it doesn't matter where you come from or what your past looks like. It only matters if you use your gifts to move forward in life, one step at a time. If you can do that, you can achieve anything, just like Hamilton. The Bible also tells us in 2 Timothy 1:6, "For this reason I remind you to fan into the flame the gift of God which is in you." Paul wrote this letter to Timothy so that he could inspire him to use the gift God has given him to realize his full potential and purpose. Class of 2020, What will your purpose be as we journey into our high school years? Some of us don't know what our gift is, but what we do know is that God has planted a gift in each and every one of us. I believe that God has planted something special in you, a spark, a gift. Each one of us has the potential to do something amazing. Let's fan the spark into a flame and grow into the person that God has planned us to be. Another famous line from Hamilton is, "I am not throwing away my shot." Hamilton was given many opportunities to use his gifts and make a difference in the world, and he wasn't going to give that up. For us, God is opening doors and we need to trust Him. Take that leap of faith to make a difference and wherever we go. As we all move on to high school, we may be anxious or nervous. One thing we can take away from Cornerstone is our faith in knowing that God will always be by our side and will never leave us. So don't throw away opportunities to shine for Jesus. The Bible also tells us in Ephesians 5:16 through 17, make the most of every opportunity. Do not be foolish, but understand what the Lord's will is. Alexander Hamilton didn't become one of the founding fathers overnight. He did it one step at a time, just like it did the composer of Hamilton, Lin-Manuel Miranda, 7 years to create the Broadway musical masterpiece. It started with a spark. He never threw away his shot. He took every opportunity and it landed him on Broadway. Graduating class of 2020, I challenge you to not throw away your shot. Stand up for what you believe in. Take small opportunities to make a big difference. Shine brightly so that all may see Jesus through you. Thank you and congratulations to the class of 2020. Until we meet again.
Hey, 8th grade. I can't believe graduation is actually here. With everything that has happened this year, it seems strange how quickly this year has passed. We all came into this final year of junior high wondering what was going to happen and what we would learn, what new people we would meet, and most importantly, what would happen when this year ended and some of us left our friends, teachers, staff, and classrooms behind. For me, it is hard to believe that the next time we will all be in a classroom, we will be in high school, and a lot of us, who have known each other for most of our lives, won't be together for the first time since we started Cornerstone. Can you believe that there are only 7 of us that remain from the original kindergarten class who have stayed all 9 years? Myself, Ava, Ashley, Carissa, Sean, Adonis, and Melly. Not only have I grown closer to those other 6, but also to those who have joined us in the years following. Do you guys remember 49er camp in 4th grade? Second day it started pouring rain and nobody really wanted to go home because we would be panning for gold that day. And 6th grade outdoor ed, with all the hikes, the games, the moments we spent together in the evenings for worship. Our 7th grade Washington trip, where we spent a week together with our families and all grew closer and learned more about our nation. These are memories that I have made with you, my fellow classmates, that I wouldn't trade for anything in the world. And yes, There have been setbacks in this last quarter, but look at us. We are still thriving and we made it all the way to our graduation. In kindergarten, we learned to write the 26 letters of the alphabet. In first grade, we learned how to write in cursive. Fourth grade, we wrote paragraphs and did reports. In junior high, we had history projects, a science fair, and a Bible paper. Cornerstone has given us a lot of firsts, but throughout the years, our teachers have gotten us to the next point of the learning process so we could be prepared for each challenge that would come in the next grade. Now here, we are ready to move into high school, and I believe that our teachers have prepared us for the next step. 1 Timothy 4:12 says, "Don't let anyone look down on you because you are young, but set an example for the believers in speech, in conduct, in love, in faith, and in purity." I set 2 personal goals for myself my 8th grade year. One was to get into Clayton Valley High School and its medical academy so that I can one day become a doctor or nurse and help other children who have been diagnosed with type 1 diabetes. My other goal was to become a valedictorian here at Cornerstone. I am proud to say that I was able to achieve both of these goals with the support of my family and teachers. When I came to Cornerstone in kindergarten, I was very shy and had no confidence. I feel like I am leaving Cornerstone a strong, confident young woman, and I finally realized that just being myself is enough. I shouldn't feel embarrassed about my love of writing and reading books. I feel empowered by the fact that I've been on the honor roll every quarter since I have been at Cornerstone. Working hard and getting good grades is something that I'm very proud of. Moving forward, I hope that each one of us will set and achieve every goal we make for ourselves. Jeremiah 29:11 says, "For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you hope and a future." I would like to take a moment to thank a few people who have made my impact on my life at Cornerstone. First and foremost, I want to thank Mr. Heyer for being there for me, always, and checking in on me when I needed it. My family and I are so grateful for all of the love and support you have shown us during our time at Cornerstone. Miss Lefevre, my kindergarten teacher, who taught me how to read, and if you know me, you know it's one of my favorite things to do. Mrs. Dancy, who is not only my first grade teacher, but my vice principal through 2 of the hardest years of my life. Miss Roberts, who was my teacher the first year I was diagnosed with diabetes, and who helped me settle into my new normal. Mrs. Amerson, who taught me how easy math could be if you did it the right way. She also checked what my blood sugar numbers were so I wouldn't go too low or too high. Miss Lane, who is a fantastic soccer coach and helped me score my first goal. She is also a great teacher who had the most energetic class of the day. Mrs. Cluck, who brought me so much farther on my walk with Christ and gave me all the resources I need to bring more people to God. Miss Cluck, I promise that I will come and visit you often. Even though he doesn't teach here anymore, I would like to thank Mr. Bai for teaching me all I know about writing and how to elevate and improve my writing to the next level. Miss Darcy, who was in the office every day for the last 8 years. She always had a shoulder to cry on or a band-aid for a scraped knee. Mrs. Lease, who helped me find my love for ASL. Mr. Mike, who always drove the bus for our field trips, sports games, and practices. Mr. Castro, who was there during summer EDM, computer class, and who let me film Wednesday announcements. And finally, to my fellow classmates, who have come into my life and made me a stronger and better person. We may not be going to the same school, and we may not see each other every day, but I hope that we will stay in touch and remember the good times, like Friday bake sales, spirit weeks and pep rallies, and most of all, Wednesday chapels with Pastor Maria. I will never forget all of the daddy-daughter dances, art classes with Mrs. Pacheco, and spending the last 9 years at Hallelujah Night. And to our parents, how can we ever thank you enough? You made a choice to put us in this Christian environment, hoping we would learn and grow closer to Christ. For this, there are no words that will express our gratitude. And to the class moms and the parents who chaperoned field trips, who volunteered at school for fun runs, and who worked at the bake sales, book fairs, and class parties. Thank you. I hope that you had as much fun as we did. An unknown author once said, "I hope your dreams take you to the corners of your smiles, to the highest of your hopes, to the windows of your opportunities, and to the most special places your heart has ever known." Although the author of this quote is unknown, they are very wise and were able to convey my words onto paper in a way I could not. Romans 12:2 says, "Do not conform to the pattern of this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. Then you will be able to test and approve what God's will is, His good, pleasing, and perfect will." I will miss every single one of you, and I'm hoping that the best is yet to come, and your life brings you never-ending joy. Thank you for being my friends, teachers, and our parents. I'm grateful and honored to be your 2020 8th grade class valedictorian. Thank you, and God bless.
is Ariel Hartwig, and I'll be giving one of the 2020 8th grade valedictorian speeches. I remember not that long ago, we stood here as a 6th grade class getting ready to start the next adventure of our lives. And for some of us, that started here at this very school. Life was simple. Our math books were incredibly thin and didn't add 20 pounds to our backpacks. And I've seen the calculus books. It gets worse. However, we weren't really all that close. And in fact, some of us were just meeting each other. And I know for me personally, I didn't really care about where life was going to take me, and my life experiences were few. As we went through this wonderful experience called middle school, I met some of the most amazing people, and I'm very proud to call you guys my friends and my classmates. We went through some of the most important memory-making experiences, such as science fair, which I'm sure none of us will ever really forget, dances, basketball season, school trips, fun runs, and so much more. Every day was a mini adventure, and every day there was something to smile about. As we started 8th grade, the only thing on my mind was how I was going to say goodbye to the kids I have grown up with and the teachers that I have known and loved for the last 3 years. I sat there and said to myself, you have 36 weeks to make memories and to make them count. So that is what I did, and I can solidly say that I've had the best year of my life, and it went by so fast. Unfortunately, the school year was cut about 2 months short, and here's the biggest thing that I learned. Even through the hard times, your relationships are the most important thing that you could have. Your relationship with God, your friends, and your family. I can say that even with the COVID-19 pandemic, I don't regret anything about this year. As one of your valedictorians, I stand here before you and can say this: it doesn't matter how high your grades are. And not ever being the most popular person, I can tell you that your popularity status doesn't matter. Being an athlete, I can say that it doesn't matter how fast you run, or how many touchdowns you make in a game, or how many baskets you make. The important thing is who you surround yourself with. In today's modern times, we are surrounded by things like hashtags, likes, comments, and how many followers you have. And in the last year, TikTok. Society will tell you that these things matter, but they really don't. During this time of global pandemic and economic uncertainty, I have learned a couple of things. First, Google Classroom has been kind enough to remind me that my spelling really stinks, and even while writing this speech, I had to ask Siri how to spell some of these words. But more importantly, it has taught me that the world needs unity. We need to be there for each other, and remember that this situation is only temporary. One day our government will look to our generation to make decisions, and as a class, we need to be united. Ecclesiastes 4:12 says this: though one may be overpowered, two can defend themselves, and a cord of 3 strands is not easily broken. We need to stand together. On another note, I need this class to realize more than anything that you can do it. All of you have a talent for something, even if you haven't found it yet. One of my favorite sayings is God has given you a gift, and what you do with that gift is your gift back to God. All of you have the power to change somebody's life and influence them for the better. You can do it, and you will make it. Something that this valedictorian experience has taught me is that you can do anything you put your mind to, and hard work eventually pays off. The last thing I want you to take away from this speech is very important. You have one life to live on this earth. The last 14 years have gone by incredibly fast. Something that scares me more than anything is that middle school went by way too quickly, but that high school will go by even faster. I remember when the current seniors were freshmen, and now they are graduating. Don't worry about today's problems, and I'm speaking to myself as well. Life goes too fast. This is hard to understand, especially while in the middle of a pandemic, but we can do this. Lastly, I'm going to thank the people who have influenced me and encouraged me throughout the last 3 years, but also throughout my life. First, I thank God every day for bringing me to this school, where I have friends and teachers whom I love. Next, thank you to my parents, my sister, and my family for everything that has been done for me, but also for all the support. Additionally, I want to thank my friends for always sticking by my side, even when times got rough, and thank you all for your encouragement. Next, thank you to all my teachers for all the academic lessons that you have taught me, but for all of the personal life lessons you have taught me as well. And finally, thank you, Mr. Heyer, for everything that you have done for this school, but also for my family and I. Congratulations to the 8th grade class of 2020, and thank you so much.